If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to press the subscribe button down below this video. I'm pretty sure it's down below this video. If it isn't, just do me one favour and find it, then press it. That was 2 things, wasn't it? It doesn't matter. Just press the red button if there's one present. Anyways, cue the goddamn intro. So, about a month ago, unfortunately, Roger Craig Smith announced that he was no longer voicing the Blue Blur. Since then, there's been a lot of speculation regarding it. Was Roger fired? Did he leave? Who is the next voice actor? Well, today, we have an answer to those questions. Except for the third one. I still do not know the answer to that one, sadly. But, without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let us take a look at the news at hand. Onto Tales' channel, we trod. Roger Craig Smith God damn it, Tales channel. Oh, I swear every single news video is some sort of grammar mistake. It's supposed to be and because there's a vowel there in the next word. Interview sounds weird, but an interview doesn't. Understand? Good. Okay, let's carry on. Roger Craig Smith in our interview with Voices from Krypton. I find myself going, I think it's time. I think it's kind of done. Okay? You know, after a while, you do things and start going. I think I'm very pleased, and I'm very proud, and I'm very happy with what has happened there. And I think it's time to say, I don't want to keep doing this. Some people will be like, why? And it's like, it doesn't have to make sense to you. It's perfectly good sense to me, and it's the right thing to do, and I'm happy to have done it. I think it's time. Roger Craig Smith hints that he decided to walk away from the role of Sonic. More context in regards to Smith's departure from the role of Sonic the Hedgehog have surfaced from an interview. See, they got it right that time. Can't be consistent, can they? After voice actor Roger Craig Smith confirmed late January that he will not reprise the franchise role of Sonic the Hedgehog, a lot of speculation arose in regards to what could have led to this. In an interview... Come on, Tales channel, be consistent here. You started it wrong, then you got it right, now you're going wrong again. You like Sonic Team, come on. In an interview with Voices from Krypton, Smith shed more light into the context of his departure from the long-time voiceover role of Sonic the Hedgehog. Contrary to online speculation that claims Smith was dismissed from his role. He hinted that he walked away on his own accord after feeling that it was the time to do so. I think my response would be, is this one of those things? Is a time in, you know? Looking at the way things are being handled, and the way that you are, and where you're at, and what you kind of want to deal with and do. And I find myself going, I think it's time. I think it's time. It's kind of done. So that's what that was. I know people are sort of surprised and shocked by it, and it was like, yeah. And I've seen all the speculation that were like, voice actors don't walk away, he was fired. Smith and Robinson's departure of their voiceover roles led to community uncertainty about possible major voice cast change, similar to the events prior to Sonic Colors. The voice actor commented about the discussion that came from that, and spoke critically about those who relayed the dismissal assumptions. It's interesting the perception that people have. We get this all the time, like, it's amazing how all the experts that are out there that have nothing to do with this industry, they make all of these assumptions, you know, this is how this works, and this is what this does. You know, after a while, you do things and start going. I think I'm very pleased, and I'm very proud, and I'm very happy with what has happened there. And I think it's time to say, I don't want to keep doing this. Some people will be like, why? And it's like, it doesn't have to make sense to you. It's perfectly good sense to me, and it's the right thing to do. And I'm happy to have done it. Smith's regards come at an unusual time for the franchise's English voiceover cast, right ahead of the Blue Blur's 30th anniversary. Cindy Robinson, Amy Rose's voice actor, indicated that she will be leaving the role. On the flip side, Mike Pollock announced he will continue voicing Dr. Eggman in the games. The voice of Sonic in the 2020 Sonic film, Ben Schwartz, threw in his 2 cents as well, and subverted suggestions that he may replace Smith in the games. So, according to what Rogers told us, it seems like he wasn't fired or anything, he just left on his own accord, which I think makes things slightly better, but also worse. You guys remember that video I made a couple of weeks back called Sonic Fans, I'm Disappointed? Well, I think that has something to do with this, which is nowhere near a good thing, far from it. I think Roger left because of the fans. Well, fans in quotation marks. Ever since Roger joined back in 2010, he has literally got nothing but hate from everyone. You cannot deny that. People are just getting used to Jason and Unleashed and Black Knight, until Sega goes and replaces him with Roger, which should make people very happy. I'm not saying that, oh you guys, you should have been ecstatic when Roger joined. I'm not saying that. One thing that really affected the games of the 2010s was the writing. It wasn't very good, but that is all on Pontiac and Graf, not Roger. For the last 10 years, people have hated on Roger because of how he sounds and stuff like
Baldy nose hair! That's the best thing I've heard all day!
Even though none of that is even his fault at all. The reason Roger sounded the way he did, and delivered the lines he did, wasn't because he wanted to, it was because of the direction he was given. Roger couldn't choose the way he did Sonic's voice, and he definitely couldn't choose the lines he did either. All that is down to Pontiac, Graf, and Sega. You could not possibly expect Roger to be the blame of all of this. He's just a voice actor that is hired by companies to do voice lines and clips. He isn't in control of how or what he says. Understand that. Because of all this, I can totally understand why Roger would want to leave. I mean, if I poured my heart and soul into something, yet people still hated it, I would damn well want to leave. It's like the developers of Unleash. They put in everything they had, trying to make Unleash the best game ever made. But when critics just bashed the game, they left and went to go where their work will actually pay off, Nintendo. And it did, with Super Mario Odyssey and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. This is really sad, and I can't imagine how Roger must have felt after improving and improving after all those years, just for him to still get hate. I personally thought he sounded amazing on Forces. He didn't sound too high-pitched like Generations and Lost Worlds, and not too deep like in Colours, just perfect. He had such a serious and calm tone in his voice that I really liked. I would have loved to hear more in future games. Oh well, it's too late for that now. People thought Roger sounded bad in Forces, and while I do know that opinions do exist, I don't think it's really fair to say that, regardless of whether you like his voice or not. I may sound like I'm sucking up to Roger right now, but I'm not. I'm not. Don't start saying that in the comments. Don't you do it. As proof that it was his direction which ruined Roger's Sonic. He hasn't done other roles, such as Chris Redfield in the Resident Evil 5 remakes. I know Caesarwex is a big fan of his voice there. He's voiced Batman and even Ezio from Assassin's Creed, and he sounds great as every single one of those roles, which proves there really was direction that brought Roger's Sonic down. But there's a chance that Roger might have not been honest when saying this, which means I just called out a bunch of people for no reason then. Oops. If we remember, one of Roger's friends, I don't remember her name, said that it was a shame for Sega to have gotten rid of Roger. So maybe Roger did get fired, and he just didn't want to say because of the uproar it would have caused. Maybe? I mean, looking at the general response to Roger's departure, it looked like a lot of people were sad for him to have left us. So maybe Roger thought that if he did say that he was indeed fired by Sega, there would have been torches and pitchforks headed for Sega HQ. It might have been possible. Or the other simple option is that Roger's contract was up. After all, Roger was the voice of Sonic for 10 years, a solid time for a contract to last. But there's more to speculate here. If Roger really did leave by his own accords, what does this mean for the rest of the voice cast? We already know that Cindy Robinson, the former voice of Amy, is departing from her role as Amy, and we also know that Mike Pollock will keep his role as Dr. Eggman. Maybe Cindy also had a 10-year contract. Cindy joined the cast at the same time as Roger in Sonic 3 Riders, so it could be that her and Roger's contract with Sega is over. If this is true, there's a chance that Connie could still be with us because she started voicing Tails in 2014, which means if she too has a 10-year contract, we still have 3 more years before we wave goodbye to the best Tails voice actor yet. Colin said she won't be voicing Tails in Sonic Prime, but not the games. So, if my theory is correct, that means 2 things. 1, it is pretty much confirmed that there's going to be 2 separate voice casts, one for Sonic Prime, one for the games. And 2, that I shall gain the title of Detective Unleashed, because have you seen anyone else going this deep into this news? No, you haven't. You can just call me Detective Unleashed. Anyways, that's about wraps it for today's video. So Roger might not have actually been replaced, just decided to leave himself, which could mean Sega is in the tone of the games after all. Oh dear, oh no, oh no. Please say this isn't real. Hope you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, especially that last one, and I hope to see you next time. Peace.